Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kagam. Okay, I have a really interesting topic to discuss with you guys today. I just read an article from the South China Morning Post about revenge spending in Hermes. I believe it's in a Hermes boutique either on mainland China or in Hong Kong. I think it's actually Hong Kong. So a bunch of VIPs from Hong Kong, as soon as the Hermes boutique there reopened, they literally legged it down there and started shopping. And I just thought it was so fascinating, like how people have just, as soon as they're told that stores have reopened, they're literally running down there to buy things. So that kind of gave me an idea. Why not discuss revenge spending and luxury shaming? I need to know what you guys think, and I want to tell you guys a story of a real life example of luxury shaming. So a few years ago, I went to a family event and there was someone who was also invited to the event, and they came in this brand new thugged out, iced out Mercedes Benz. I think it was like a C class or an E class. It was one of those really nice saloons. It was so glossy, gorgeous, absolutely luxury car. And basically at the event, people were sitting around like, oh, do you see her? She's, rolled up and parked in this Benz. And I was upstairs with a group of women, some relatives, and basically people were slagging her off, having a massive go at her, saying that she was showing off. And they were like, oh, how can she afford that? How can she afford that Benz? And I was just so shocked at the way that people were judging her and making assumptions about her purse when they literally like, did you give her money to buy the Benz? No, you didn't. Do you pay her bills? No, you don't. So why does it bother you? And I remember just piping up a little bit saying, well, like, how does that affect us? I mean, she's not going into your purse and taking the money to buy the Benz. So why do you need to know like how much she spent on it? Because that was like a big theme. Like, oh, I wonder how much she spent on it. And I think it's the same thing with the luxury world. People are so judgmental about women's shopping choices. And I think it's absolutely barking mad. And I want to talk about some luxury YouTubers and fashion bloggers who have take a lot of flack. I'm not going to name who they are, but I want to give some examples that I've seen as a subscriber from other people commenting on their pages. So that's what we're going to talk about next. Okay, guys, there's a very famous luxury shopping YouTuber. I'm not going to say her name. I'm subbed to her channel. Many of you guys are probably subbed as well to her channel. She was getting a lot of flack, I've noticed in a lot of her comments from people who either lurk or subscribe to her channel, saying that she shouldn't be, luxury shopping when there's a pandemic, people are losing their jobs, and people are just having a really, really hard time of it. And I remember just thinking, like, that's so weird that people are now telling someone how she can spend her money that she's rightfully earned. I just think that's completely, I just don't understand it. I think it's barking mad, because whether you like it or not, this would not happen to a man. And I'm not even saying this as like, woohoo, guys, it's like be feminist in luxury shopping. I'm not like that at all. But for example, I follow like a few like men's luxury shopping YouTube channels so that I can get ideas for my husband. I don't know a lot about men's shopping, but if I want to get him a gift, I would like to know what men's luxury influencers think about products so I can get my husband something nice when the time comes. And literally in those channels, if some of you subscribe to them, literally it's just men, bigging up each other, basically like, yeah, mate, that's wicked that you got the off-white whatevers, or you got the, Air Dior's, for example. Like, go on Christian Dior's YouTube channel and see the Air Dior comments. Literally, everyone is just saying they're lit, I can't wait to get them. And they cost an absolute fortune. And no one is shaming them for buying it. Go on men's like supercar YouTube pages. Literally, people are just like, yeah, you bought like 4 cars in 1 month. Wicked, that's amazing. Like, we really support your hustle. We're happy for you. We're proud of you. And I just think it's just crazy how women are treated. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not part of that. I think that's so unfair. And what's really bad is that we're perpetrating it on each other. So how can you shame someone for buying a Mercedes or for buying a Vuitton bag or whatever? And how does it affect you? Another thing which I find crazy is asking people how much something is. In a lot of the private like luxury Facebook pages that I'm in on my via my Facebook account, this is a massive thing that comes up like, oh guys, I just went to a family event. Should I wear my Speedy? Should I wear my Birkin? Or people harass me and ask me how much it was. I'm just like, why does someone think it's okay? Like someone who maybe doesn't know you on that luxury level to ask you how much something costs. I mean, me and my cousin, we both love luxury brands. And if she's watching this, I know she agrees. We both love luxury brands. So we're always like WhatsApping each other pics of bags that we like. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, how much is that one? Or that one is this amount. But I feel like if someone doesn't like luxury, it's kind of just like, why would you ask the person how much something is? Particularly if it's something with like a monogram, like Vuitton, or if it has, the interlocking, CCs. Okay, now I got it right. The interlocking CCs for Chanel. Why would you ask someone how much it is, and why does it bother you? I just don't understand why it bothers you. So that's something else that I've noticed. That happens a lot. Whereas obviously not on YouTube, because it's completely fine if someone's making a luxury video to ask someone, oh, how much was that? But that happens a lot. And I'm sure that's happened to some of you guys. And I'd love to hear what you think of that. My advice in a situation like that would just be to laugh it off and just be like, oh, okay, well, it was fine. Like, I don't remember how much it costs. Or I know some people like to say my husband or boyfriend bought it for me, but if you bought it for yourself, that's a lie. And I don't think that you should lie, but I do think you should be playful and just play it off. I think that's a good way of looking at a situation that is kind of uncomfortable, if we're honest. If someone's, if you're at a lunch with a group of mates and someone's like, oh, how much was your Louis Vuitton bag? I don't feel like you should say the price, because I think it can come across a bit, even though you're not boasting, it will come across like you're boasting, even though you're not. So I think just kind of playing it off, in a very chilled out, relaxed way, being like, oh, it's the cost of my unborn child, or something like that. I think that's a really nice way of just kind of putting that to bed. I just think it's crazy. When men spend on luxury shopping, it's a sign of their success. When we spend on ourselves, it's a sign of our excess. And I think it's so wrong and it's so unfair. But yet, it's not even the men who are slagging us off. It's other women going into other women's comments, okay, on Instagram or on YouTube, or going on those forums slagging people off and just saying, oh, you know what, she just spent, 5K buying a Chanel bag, blah, 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 blah. Well, you don't know her finances, so you don't know the situation she's in. She could be absolutely lit. She could be dead broke. We don't know the situation. So I think it's just so important to kind of, if people are being judgmental, stay away from that energy and don't take part in that energy. And moreover, don't judge another woman's shopping decisions and decisions in general. It's so wild to me how people look at, particularly on YouTube, how people look at other people's channels. Like, I saw one comment on another really famous luxury YouTuber's channel, and someone was like, you're constantly shopping, you're constantly buying things. And I like the response. It was like, well, this is a luxury shopping channel, so I will be buying things. Like, get out of my business, but I don't exist to buy things. Guys, luxury shaming has been coming for, I think, the past few years. I think with the rise of minimalism, by the way, there's nothing wrong with minimalism, so don't you dislike this video. It's not for me personally, but there's nothing wrong with minimalism at all. But I think the rise of minimalism has kind of created this kind of anti-luxury movement that's very strong in the mainstream. And unfortunately, whether people like to admit it or not, jealousy is an absolutely massive reason. Actually, that was that was just my cousin who loves luxury. She just sent me a notification. It flared up as I'm shooting this video. But I think that jealousy plays an absolutely massive role, basically, as well. And whether people like to admit it or not, jealousy does play a role. So, if you feel like someone's jealous of you or being weird because you have some nice things, don't fall for it, and don't say something bitchy or nasty back. Okay, I don't want to get demonetized because I just said that, but don't say something rude or nasty back, because I think when you do, it kind of lowers you to their level and it makes you look snobby even though you aren't. Okay, so basically, yeah, those are just my main opinions on the whole luxury shame thing, because I've seen this on so many fashion YouTubers, shopping channels and luxury shopping channels, people apologizing because they have been blessed by God to have nice things. And I just think That to me is so weird, and I don't think that you should be ashamed. Of course, you should have a sense of perspective. There is a global pandemic happening around the world. There is no doubt about it. Now might not be the time to show off like $1 million worth of jewels. But I think at the same time, you should be proud of things that you have worked hard for and that you've rightfully earned. And I think you should be happy for yourself if you were given a gift and it's really, really nice. So don't fall for jealousy, and don't let jealous people have any part in your growth and your aspirations and things that you want. Finally, I would just say that I think that with how the luxury industry is going, I think luxury shaming is definitely going to continue. There's been a lot of talk on a lot of YouTube luxury channels and luxury forums on Facebook about how, like, is luxury over? Is it done? Like, is the whole luxury shopping space done? Does it feel kind of uncouth and gauche to be talking about luxury shopping and really nice things? No, it's not done. I mean, this is just ridiculous. These houses have literally been around for centuries running around. But what I do think is that you need to just be careful with your image. Particularly depending on where you work. Maybe you have a job you need to protect, because people are jealous and weird. If you have a job, maybe somewhere nice, and if someone is watching your videos and doesn't like you, they can go and mess up your job because they're annoyed you have nice things. I think it's just about being like careful. I don't necessarily think you need to be discreet, but just be careful basically, and don't fall for negative energy. And if someone's making negative comments about things that you have, it's time to find new friends. Seriously. Okay? So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. I make 2 videos a week, Thursdays and Tuesdays. Thanks so much for watching, you guys.